The book, Circles of Wellness, a guide to healing yourself, your family, your community, and your planet. I would say the inception of that concept brought all the books together because all the books represent circles in one way or another. It's about coming together in union, coming together to help one to another. Well, I met a wonderful friend, became a close friend. We're friends to this day. Her name is Dr. Bernadette Sheridan. I met about 7 years ago. And our circle became holistic meets medical. We came together as a sisterhood. She's in Brownsville. I'm in Crowns Heights. We're both in Brooklyn. We have some of the same, my clients, her patients. Well, many of her patients were getting better. And she would oftentimes tell them, well, I'm going to cut back on your medication, or I'm going to cut out your medication, or maybe you don't need that surgery right now. And she would ask them a basic question: what are you doing different? And they would say again and again, I'm seeing Queen Afua. I'm on a 21-day detox. I've changed my lifestyle. I'm living healthier now. And so she was not threatened by that. She thought that was intelligent. That was a great thing. But one day, she asked one of her male clients, so where's your wife? And he said, she's with Queen Afua. She says, okay, enough is enough. I've got to meet her. Well, he came back so excited. Queen, you've got to meet this medical doctor. I think you're going to hit it off really good. So I said, really? Is she my prayers answered? Well, anyway, we made an appointment. I came to her clinic. I got off the elevator. I walked to her. She walked to me. We walked to each other just like this. And we held each other. Minutes passed, and more minutes passed, and then we let go, and we smiled. And then we both sat down in her office, and we began to share our vision. Well, she said, I want someone to work with me who is not going to jeopardize my profession and my credibility, who knows what they're doing. And I said, well, I need somebody to clinically prove that my holistic practices work, my formulas, my 21-day, my 12-week program. I need a clinical analysis of my work. Well, we both said yes. And so for 1 year, I did volunteer work. I taught at her clinic, her staff, as well as her patients. And every month on Wednesday, I would come and I would teach. And these are circles. It was 12 teachings. And every month she would say the week before, teach a workshop on diabetes, how to prevent it holistically. The next month, teach one on prostate cancer. Teach one on fibroid tumors. Teach a workshop on stress and depression. Teach a workshop on arthritis, aches, and pains. And it went on to 12 topics. So every month, that is exactly what I did at her clinic. And I did it based on the 4 elements: air, fire, water, earth, crowned by the crown, the brain. How the brain translates down through the elements, and we use food as medicine, and we heal. After the year was up, during that time, at the time, Senator Obama was coming in to position. And I said, this must be the time, because I would hear his interviews from CNN twice. The way to save the colon that's been there for months or years, and the rejuvenation clay for any aches and pains, the breath of life for the lungs and the sinus. So the formulas, the charts, the books, the workshops, the food preparation, all of that was done. And then every week she would examine them with the 4 nurses that also did pro bono. She did pro bono. She gave her clinic for pro bono and herself pro bono because she believed in the work. The nurses believed in the work. And together we worked as a team. At the end of the cycle, she testified. It shows up in the book Circles of Wellness, where two healers come together, a medical doctor and a holistic healer. We are a model that how we have to unify for the good of the people. Because when people have to make a choice, and I found when people come to me and says, "Well, do I have to stop seeing my doctor in order to see you?" I said, "Absolutely not. Continue seeing your physician, and as you go to your physician, the physician will see a shift, and then they will cut back on your medication, and you'll walk into a new life." And so they would feel so comforted. And then they would see Dr. Sheridan. She would say, "Open up your mouth, take Queen Afua's formula, Breath of Life," and she put in her lab stethoscope, in her either stethoscope, white jacket, and the Breath of Life, and she carried the formulas at the nurse's station, and to this day she carries the formulas. So the healing really sparked circles of wellness, because that was a profound circle, and the circles continued. I wrote the circles in the sense that everything that you need is in your circle. Just open up your eye, not just your physical eye, but your spiritual eye. Open up. Everything that you need, you have attracted to yourself to help you. You just have to look and then talk and then communicate. You have something to give to the circle. The circle has something to give to you. You've been drawn to that circle for divine purpose and a reason. Now, some circles you have already completed your karma. I always say that everything you need is within, and everything that you need is leaving out. So circles transform. And as I spoke to one of my dear friends, Catriel Wise, who is my maestro for much of my work, he says it's all about spiraling the circle, raising up in the circle, not a circle that stays on one level, but a circle that raises up and rises up. And one of the circles I connect to is the roundhouse. And that roundhouse is what Bobby Shangi, who's now an ancestor, one of my dancing teachers and my cultural teachers, taught me before he left. I had a chance to go to the roundhouse in the Gambia at his resting place. He was buried in a roundhouse. And so I look at our homes as healing homes. As Dr. Regina Benjamin, she talks of the house as a healing home. She talks and she says that healing is not only in your clinics and your hospitals. And she's a surgeon. She was our Surgeon General. So who else can speak it louder than her? It's not only found in your clinics and your hospitals. She said, but healing is also found in your homes and your spiritual houses. So let's make a healing home, a wellness home, a round home, a circle of wellness. And in circle, I do say this, that we have Medicaid, we have Medicare. There's also universal care. There's Obamacare. But health care is self-care. That's the key that will transform everyone, and every circle will become well. Because yes, you can have insurance to get a knee replacement, but what happens if you take your green juice and your turnips and keep your own knee? And yes, you can have a blood transfusion because you're losing your blood. But what happens if you build up your blood with your dark green juices and your beets and your cranberries and blueberries? Yes, you can take medication because you're having mental depression. But what happens if you took your B complex and you started taking calmative herbs in forms of your teas and tonics? In nature, nature's a garden. Let's go to the garden. I walk you right to the garden in the circles of wellness. And it's a very practical text for those who want to take their family on and make their family a circle of wellness.